Hello and welcome to episode 17 of eSports Edition. And in this segment, I want to attempt to tackle a very sticky subject or complicated subject, and that's the gender gap in esports. And I'll include a couple of links that kind of break down a lot of examples of why there is a gender gap in esports and some of the very real examples. But I want to highlight 3 points that speak to why it should be addressed and why it should be addressed aggressively. The first of which is esports is fast becoming, and I think it is, the world's global sport. And sport, I'm going to put that in quotes so I don't start a fire chat in the comments or anywhere else, but activity. And a key element to that is the fact that it has a really great opportunity structure. Like, it's easy to get involved with competitive gaming, even compared to physical sports. It's incredibly straightforward to join the community, to consume content, to create, to game competitively, and even to rise to its highest ranks. And that has to apply for everyone. And why does it have to apply for everyone? Because it's 2015, and if you're talking about a worldwide activity, a global activity, it's got to include everyone. And there shouldn't be unnecessary barriers for people for reasons that they can't help, like their gender. And the focus for me should be on providing opportunities for those who can and want to be involved. It's not so much about numerical equality, like, oh, well, there are 52% of women in the world, so there should be 52% of women or female esports pros or female esports viewers. No, it's about getting rid of the harassment, discrimination, the sexism that prevents women from feeling welcome in contributing their talent, their energy, their time, and their effort. The second point is there needs to be a fine line between toxicity and gender harassment, because what's going on for women in the scene across any number of esport titles and communities is that they're being harassed because of their gender. And everyone says, who's ever been involved in any of these communities or who's ever gamed competitively, oh, well, yeah, it's a tough world out there for everyone. People get bullied online all the time. But specific harassment based on a certain character trait like gender is different from overall toxicity, and we have to separate that, because I think there will be an overall level of toxicity, but gender harassment cannot be tolerated. It's just like I said, it's 2015. We've got to get rid of that. And if esports ever wants to be taken seriously as a mainstream activity or a sport, how when the covers are pulled back, or is the community going to say, oh yeah, sure, we want to be a sport? Or you see people pushing for esports in the Olympics, and I'm sitting here thinking, there are women who don't want to reveal the fact that they're women because they're going to get literally harassed. Like, you're pushing for esports in the Olympics. Like, let's have priorities here. But to move on, the third point is that there's power in numbers, and we've seen the growth of the esports community as a whole and how it's helped provide a larger spotlight on competitive gaming, more opportunities, the growth of an industry and on a marketplace. And it's funny because if you talk to basically anyone within esports, they'll say, of course I want to see this grow. But I think the first step is making women who are already interested, who are already in these communities, not just helping them, but dismantling these unnecessary barriers that they experience for participation. Because once you do that, you're gonna by nature grow the number of human beings who are interested in it, because women are people too. And the easier it is for women to join the ranks of enthusiasts, of pro players, of fans, of viewers, the better for everyone. It's more opportunities for all. It's a bigger pie. And analogous to that point is, I think that we're probably one scandal away from really causing a serious setback for the progress that esports has experienced over the last 2 to 3 years, especially. For those who aren't familiar with the Gamergate scandal, that was more that was at the worldwide gaming community level, but literally it's just we're one scandal away within esports from everyone saying, "Oh wait, this is how they treat women in competitive gaming. Why should I care? Why should we promote this for our kids? Like why should we take this seriously?" And so getting rid of these barriers, dismantling these barriers, it isn't just a moral issue. It's a fundamental, I believe, economic issue for esports and a structural issue even. And so hopefully we'll see them get addressed sooner rather than later. But those are my thoughts on the subject. I'd love to hear any feedback, comments. Death threats are also welcome. But that's all I have for this week. I'll see you guys around.